The season has not even ended yet, and as usual, Real Madrid is already getting linked to this player, that player, this, that. It's everywhere, honestly. I have seen the most outrageous rumors and some rumors that I genuinely think would be great for the club. But today, we're gonna rate them 1 out of 10. Of course, I have like a side here that you know what I'm saying here, okay? Not all of these are true rumors. They are genuinely just made up rumors like Morgan Rogers. Okay, bro. Nicolo Barella ain't ever coming to Real Madrid right now. Honest, I'm gonna be honest. This brother, I maybe have heard his name once. That's honestly, guys, as this guy, honest, this list might be cheeks, okay? This list might be absolutely untrue in 80% of the players I'm gonna mention, but let's just have some fun, okay? La Liga is done. I have nothing to do. I'm not gonna worry about this team right now. There is too many players that I want to sell and rage about. Let's just look at these transfer rumors, okay? Because there are, of course, some true rumors. I'm gonna rate every single one of these 1 out of 10. 1 through 10, yeah? So, Nico Paz, of course, to Real Madrid. We can start here. Real Madrid have just informed Como that they are re-signing Nico Paz. He's the first signing of the 2026-27 season. Of course, we have been knowing this. Hey, come home, man. Come home. I think this is on the contrast of Bernardo Silva, as you have seen there. I think this is a 10 out of 10 transfer, okay? This is 10 out of 10. For me, he's 100% coming in. Even though he's probably going to be coming off the bench, he will get some game time off the bench next season. He's not going to be a starter because I think Arda Güler has proved himself to be better than people have thought before this season. But he, of course, if there is a chance, if he's not in form, I think Nico Paz has a slot in the team. This is 10 out of 10 for me. The only way this would be less than that is if we get him back and we don't play him at all. If we do the Endrick route, yeah, when he gets 10 games per season, we will basically fuck up his career again. That's what I don't want for Nico Paz. I want him to be coming off the bench, start some games in the Copa del Rey, get some minutes in the UCL as well, and maybe start, against some smaller teams in the Liga as well. That's how he develops at Real Madrid. And that's, for me, that's a perfect signing. 10 out of 10. Now, Bernardo Silva, because I clicked on the Twitter post already, I think this actually would have been a great transfer in January when we needed some, experience. But when we're looking at it from a point of view, Bernardo Silva has been offered, to Real Madrid, Jorge Mendes, which is his agent. I don't see too much benefit in this, okay? He's old. He's coming off a great season in City, and I just don't believe he will have back-to-back crazy seasons, at his age. I think at his age, I would expect him to go maybe to Juventus. He's linked to Juventus heavily as well. Serie A. Older players, they just work there, okay? Real Madrid, I think it's too much for him. And once again, I know his availability is nonetheless. He missed 30 games in 9 seasons for City, but I'm just not willing to risk giving him a huge contract just to come in and maybe get injured or maybe just play 2 seasons. I got burned with David Alaba. I know he was a great signing at first, but we all know how that ends, and Real Madrid have no intention of signing him. I think this is, if we signed him, I would be okay with it, but I wouldn't want him to be our priority. So as a rumor and as a player, if he came in, I'm gonna rate this as a 4-5 out of 10. At least, because he's still a great player in my opinion, but he's getting to those ages where he's becoming slower, more injury prone he can be, and his contract would be sky high. So 5 out of 10 for Bernardo Silva. Now, his mate from City, which is, a kind of a late rumor, I would say. It was more so in January and this, these type of months when we were linked to Rodri, actually, because now, once again, Rodri got injured. Rodri is once again injured and he's out for the rest of the season, I think. He's just too injury prone, okay? I think he's still a great player, not in the standards of his Ballon d'Or season, but he can be a good addition to the team. But we don't need injuries. We have already Camavinga, Militao, Trent, who has been injury prone, flipping Alaba. Oh my goodness, so many injury prone players. It's just, why would we sign a player that is not young as well? He's not young. He's not gonna get better. He's already there. His prime is past him, and the injuries that he has suffered are only gonna get worse. That ACL injury is so bad for your career and so bad for your match fitness overall in full seasons. We can just see it now. He's already, getting back to form, finally starting to play well. He gets injured again, and the season is finished for him. If we signed Rodri, I would rate this a 2 out of 10. Just because I think he's a good player. He can add something, but he can get injured in 2 months for 4 months, and we could just be seeing him for, I don't know, 10 games per season, which is just, I don't see Rodri as an addition to the team. It actually would be just even a scandal to signing Rodri when Vinny is still on the team. I'm not gonna lie. Now, Vitinha, 1 out of 10 rumor. I think if we signed him, it would be a 10 out of 10 signing, but that's never happening. Okay, let's just brush past that. Vitinha is never coming to Real Madrid. Now, Enzo Fernández, I think, if we just look at this, Real Madrid's favorite options by club and fans. I already talked about Rodri and, Vitinha. I think Vitinha is impossible. Rodri, on the other hand, was very much possible, but just not a good signing. I think João Neves, even though I don't think he's on the transfer rumors on that side, would be, once again, a great signing. One of the best signings we can make this, from any midfielders. These two are untouchable, in my opinion. So that's never happening, but Enzo is the most possible one. But I just don't see the talent in Enzo Fernández. I'm not gonna lie. If it's anything over 65, 70 million, I would be so disappointed in Real Madrid. Once again, Enzo Fernández, proven to be a liability in the dressing room. And so, I genuinely think he's just a weirdo. He's a weirdo. Those videos after the Copa America, I don't want to see him at Real Madrid, okay? Maybe he would be a great addition as a player, what he does on the pitch, but we don't need more drama off the pitch. Let's be honest, guys, we have enough. And he wouldn't be like cheap. He wouldn't be 50 million. He would be at least 70, in my opinion. And Chelsea business, they usually scam people. So, you know what? Enzo Fernández, as a player, 5 out of 10. But as a signing, the money they would want for him, for me, is just not worth it. I don't think it's worth it. Because if Enzo Fernández just brings in more drama, in my opinion, we could be signing a better midfielder. Okay? Now, Nathan De Cat, too young for me. I don't think he's ready for Real Madrid, and that's what Real Madrid doesn't need. We have too many young players, actually. Yeah, we need experienced players. 1 out of 10. I don't want these young players. Maybe sign him for, I don't know. They would still want some great money for him. So I am not signing Nathan De Cat. Mickey van de Ven. Once again, injury prone. But would I want to take my chances on him if Spurs get relegated? Because he does, I hope he does have a release clause for the relegation, because he would be like 5 mil, 10 million, honestly. If it's that, if the transfer fee is in the low, I don't know, 15 to 20 million, I'm all for it. Mickey van de Ven, great, talented player, fast as fuck. He can play as a left back. He's versatile. He can play, in a free. He can play as a 2, and he's physically great. Just his, once again, injury record is awful. Injury record is where these players are so bad on the transfer market. And, even though Mickey van de Ven, if he stays up with Spurs, the price once again goes double. He would be around, in my opinion, 40 to 50 million if he wanted to leave, if Spurs stay up. If they get relegated, another story. If they get relegated, I would want Mickey van de Ven, and I would rate this like a 7 out of 10, because once again, the injury proneness is there. But if we can take chances on him for that little of money, let's be honest, guys, 15 million, 20 million for Mickey van de Ven in this, transfer market and in this inflation of transfers is great. Well, if he's gonna be 30 or 40 million, that's not real. Yeah, because once again, it's like Militao. He's a great player. He plays 2 months, gets injured for 2 months. He comes back, plays 2 weeks, gets injured for 3 months. He comes back, gives you 1 month, and then gets injured again. That's just not what we need. Let's be honest, guys. Mickey van de Ven, great player, too injury prone. So if they get relegated and we can get him for a steal, for sure get him. If we can get him for normal market value, if Spurs stay up, I am not touching Mickey van de Ven. So I'm going to be staying neutral in this. I'm going to say 5 out of 10 transfer rumor. Now, McAllister, once again, I don't think he's on that form that he used to be in those first season at Liverpool under Arne Slot. Or was it? did he play under Jurgen Klopp? Yes, maybe I'm bugging, but that first season under Arne Slot, I think it was his best. The second season, which is now not that great, and I liked him a lot, but just once again, he's not that young. And do we really need McAllister for the money that Liverpool would want for him? I don't think so. And what is the obsession with linking us to Argentinian players, by the way? I don't really want McAllister. I think we can once again do better. And we have enough midfielders, guys. We have enough midfielders. Because for me, McAllister is not the profile we really need. I think McAllister sits in the same bracket as kind of Camavinga, Fede. And he's not really the same player, but he's, surrounds the same positions. Because McAllister, for me, is not a 6. And for me, we do need like a 6 deep lying playmaker, because Chouameni is there, but he's more defensive, Victor Osimhen, never happening. I think both McAllister and Victor Osimhen, 1 out of 10. Now, Keith Smith, of course, we have been heavily linked before, but once again, the money that's being thrown around that we should be spending 70 or 80 million for Keith Smith is just that's vomiting. Like, why is that even a transfer rumor? If Keith Smith wants to come to Real Madrid, I would give 30 million for him. Yeah, and if this guy goes to the World Cup and performs well, oh my goodness, you could just bet that he's going to be like 100 million suddenly. That's the Enzo Fernández story in 2022. If we are looking at Keith Smith, it better be before the World Cup. Because after the World Cup, I don't even want to hear those transfer rumors. For me, this is a 3 out of 10 transfer rumor. If he would be, cheap, for sure. I think he's a great talent. I've seen him usually for the Netherlands, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch fucking Eredivisie small games. But I think he's a great talent, but the money they want for him, no, not for us. Vitor Munoz, once again, we do need a right winger. But you're getting in those conversations, where is Nico Paz gonna play? And can Real Madrid do better? And are we gonna be looking at, right wingers in the market? Which I think that they are better right wingers than Vitor Munoz. But of course, that is the point where Vitor Munoz actually played for Real Madrid before. He was in the academy. He was a Real Madrid player. I remember that miss against Barcelona, which basically sent him to Osasuna, let's be honest, guys. But where is Nico Paz going to go? Is he going to be a midfielder, 10, 8, right winger? Let's see. Franco Mastantuono, is he going to go out on loan? Endrick, is he going to be a striker, or is he going to be finally fit into the starting 11 by playing him as a right winger? I don't know. If Vitor Munoz can come in, do we have a buyback clause? If we do, yes, for sure. But Vitor Munoz, come back if you're going to be coming off the bench. If you're going to be getting, no game time, I don't want you here, because I don't want to ruin your career. That's exactly what I'm saying, because Vitor Munoz, I think he's a great talent. I think he can develop even more in a smaller club. I would give him 1 more season at Osasuna or in another club if he wants to, go abroad maybe and develop even more. But now I don't really, feel too keen on Vitor Munoz signing. If we sign him, I think it would be 5 out of 10, because he would be for sure a bench player. But I'm not sure that's, what Real Madrid needs right now. We do need experienced players and not, players that are going to be sitting on the bench. We have that. And we have players like Yanez in the academy. So now, Gabriel Magalhaes. I think this is 0 out of 10 possible transfer. I think Gabriel is genuinely less possible than Saliba, even though Saliba just signed a new deal in, at the start of this season. I think Saliba is way better. I think Saliba is a way better transfer for us. I think Gabriel Magalhaes still, people talk about him as the best player. I think Saliba is still better. I think genuinely Saliba just gets overshadowed by Gabriel, because Gabriel is great defensively, don't get me wrong, but Gabriel just scores goals off corners. Let's be honest, guys. That's what makes him better than Saliba. And of course, I think this season, Saliba has not been the greatest, but Gabriel has been better. But overall, I just think Saliba, if we can get him this season or next season, why would we even be looking at Gabriel? So I don't think that's possible, guys, honestly. Now, I think all of these, Rafael, Honest, Morgan Rogers, Mane, Nicolo Barella, and Rafael Guerreiro, are just a bit, they are just a bit spooky. I don't really, care about them too much. But let's just give this one a few thoughts, okay? I know it's not gonna happen. This is gonna be the last one that we are gonna be looking at, because the other ones are too old or they are just unrealistic. Let's be honest, guys. Michael Olise. We have, of course, been looking at him from the start of the season. after the point that he cooked us for Bayern and Bayern beat us, I knew this was impossible. Even before that, I knew this was impossible. And if we just look at, you know, what is it? Michael Olise and Real Madrid links. Bayern have no intention to negotiate, not even for a record fee. They believe Olise will be their player for a long time. And I believe that too. If Bayern win the Champions League this year, they are signing some players. Let me tell you guys, because winning the Champions League gives you basically the possibility to sign anybody. I think Real Madrid players are going to be safe and PSG players are going to be safe because they are just untouchables, in my opinion. Especially the huge ones at the club. But players from the Premier League, you know, even we know what happens from with the players from the Bundesliga. They can sign them anywhere, anytime they want. But they can be getting at anybody. So why would they be selling Olise? They can just strengthen the depth, and Olise is nowhere near getting, you know, Real Madrid links. But if it can happen, of course, this is the transfer rumor. I'm going to rate this a 10 out of 10. Yeah, the possibility is 0 out of 10. But if he can come to Real Madrid, 10 out of 10. Once again, before we end, of course, I mentioned Saliba already. What do you guys think about these transfer rumors? I think Olise is, of course, really unrealistic. But, you know, Enzo Fernández, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, these are the Mickey van de Ven. These are the kind of, you know, really talked about transfers. I think Konate should have been here as well. But I think he's already signing a new deal with Liverpool. And yeah, so these were the transfer rumors that I wanted to talk about. There are some new ones, of course, some old ones as well. What do you think Real Madrid will actually do with these transfer rumors? Do you just think genuinely these are just transfer rumors and they are just waffle, complete lies? And what do you think is the most realistic transfer out of all of these that I have mentioned? For in my opinion, of course, it's Nico Paz, and it is gonna be Mickey van de Ven if Spurs get relegated. I think he's a really good transfer target for us, of course. And the most unrealistic, Michael Olise. Let's be honest, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. And the next video, of course, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out. Thank you so much for watching.